So we are Memrise. So we're here to teach you a little bit about the local dialect, the Hakata Ben, which is the local Fukuoka dialect. We're not going to just put Memrise on the screen and make you do endless tests, because we thought that wouldn't be great for a presentation. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to try and teach you a little bit of Hakata Ben by employing a lot of the techniques and the things that we really believe in with Memrise. So it's kind of like a Memrise live show, or like Memrise on ice, if you wish, but without the ice skates or the sparkly outfits. So,
I brought my outfit, but he wouldn't let me wear it, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's very sad. So what you're going to get today is you're going to get us four. We're all at Memrise. So I'm Luke. I'm a product designer at Memrise. I'm currently learning German and Norwegian, but don't test me on that.
I'm Kana. I'm the Japanese language specialist writing the Japanese course, and I'm trying to learn Chinese and Spanish at the moment.
Hi, I'm Sha. I'm the social media executive at Memrise, and I'm learning Longbat, Japanese, and of course, Hakata Ben.
And I'm Rob. I'm the English language specialist at Memrise, and I'm learning Japanese because we're in Japan, and Hakata Ben because we're in Hakata, and Lombard because fun.
So you have us for 45 minutes. Hopefully you will walk away with a load of Hakata Ben, and we're going to employ some super cool memory techniques. How does that sound for everyone? Good? Great. I love audience participation. So another note, we're going to attempt to do a quiz at the end, maybe, if we have time. So if you have a phone and you have internet, make sure that internet is working. If not, that's fine. We'll just go on without it. Okay, and one other important thing to note is that none of us on the stage are Fukuoka locals, so none of us are experts in Hakata Ben. We do have a Hakata Ben course on Memrise that Kana co-created with a Fukuoka local. So you can check that out by downloading the app and having a search for Hakata Ben. But yes, if you want to know more about Hakata Ben, you can come and ask us and we'll try and answer as best we can. So I suppose the first thing to cover off is, what is Hakata Ben?
Okay, a good place to start. So Hakata Ben is a Japanese way of saying Hakata dialect. Dialect is a variation of accent and vocab and sound change of grammatical particles. And in Fukuoka Prefecture, they've got Fukuoka dialect, and in Fukuoka, there are three subtly different dialects. So in the south, we've got Chikugo Ben, and in the east, we've got Kitakyushu Ben, and in the west, where we are, they have Hakata Ben, and that's what we're learning today.
Kana-san, are there many dialects in Japan?
Very good question. So depends on how you classify them, but there are 16 big dialects in Japan, and each of the dialects have many, many variations. And yes, each of them have quite unique characteristics. So I'm from Osaka Prefecture, north and south speak quite differently. So yeah, depends on how you classify them, but there are many, many dialects in Japan.
なるほど.
Another interesting thing about Hakata Ben is that it doesn't have a polite register. So what that means is that you use this with your friends and family, and when you need to be polite in Hakata, you fall back to the standard Japanese. So you are going to be learning many Hakata Ben phrases today, but when you go in town, make sure you break the ice before you use it with someone new.
Okay, so now we're going to get ready. Are you all ready to learn some Hakata Ben? Yeah?
Let's get ready to rumble!
Just checking that the sound works. That is great. Okay, on to the first phrase, which is...
Yokato? Yokato means, is it okay? So yoka is a Hakata Ben for yoi or i in standard Japanese, which means good. And to here is making a question. So it's saying, is it good? Is it okay? Yokato?
Okay, so now Luke mentioned we're going to go through some memory techniques. So the first one we want to talk about is something that probably most of you have heard of, I'm assuming, which is mnemonics. And at Memrise, we like to call them mems because memrise, mnemonics. Anyway, so what can we do for... first, why are they useful? Okay, so mnemonics, mems, are useful because you link this new memory, the thing that you're trying to learn, to an already existing memory. So a phrase that you can conjure up of words that you already know, and you can create a picture, something that's memorable to help it stick in your mind. And if this new thing is particularly weird or funny or potentially offensive. If it's offensive, keep it to yourself. Then it's probably better for helping you to remember it because it's going to be more memorable for you, right? So how can we do this for yokato? Is it okay? So yokato sounds a bit like your gato. So you can imagine asking somebody, is it okay if I have some of your gato? Yokato?
Let's practice. Please repeat after Kana. Kana-san.
よかと
Minasan. Again.
よかと
いいね.
Fantastic. Okay, so and one of the other things that we believe at Memrise is that learning language should not be boring. Okay, so who here is in agreement with us? A few of you, so that's good. So we thought we'd try and play a few games with you, with the Hakata Ben that we're learning. So first off, we're going to play everybody's favorite game. It is...
Mozzarella cheese!
So mozzarella cheese game. Who here is familiar with mozzarella cheese? Oh, there's actually a few. Okay. So apparently this is a very popular game in Japan amongst especially high school students where they each say the phrase mozzarella cheese after each other and it gets bigger and more dramatic as it goes on. So, so first off, what we're going to do is we're going to split you into 4 groups. So, okay, so this group here from the lovely photographer forward is group number 1. This group in the middle is group number 2. This group right here is group number 3. That's what happens for sitting on your own. And then, just to be really cruel, the group at the back behind the cameraman, you lovely 3 people, you're group number 4. So what's going to happen is I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, or 4, and you're going to say yokato. The first group is going to say it really quietly. The second group is going to get a little bit louder and more dramatic. The third group even louder. And then the last group needs to go insane. Okay, so you got it? So should we do an example just so we can show you how it works? Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So, yokato.
よかと
Yokato.
Yokato! Great, okay, now it's your turn. Okay, ready. So, group number 3. Group number 2. 1. Group number 2. And group number 4. Oh, brilliant. Great job. Okay. Yeah, Rob.
Thank you. Okay, so the next memory technique that we're going to talk about is something called the method of loci. Anybody heard of that before? Yeah? It's also more commonly known as memory palace. Anybody heard of the memory palace before? Anybody watch Sherlock Holmes? Where Sherlock puts his memories into his little memory palace and then he walks through them, remembers them. And it's not just some kind of fantasy thing. It is something that's really useful for forming strong memories because actually our spatial recall is one of the strongest types of recall that our brain can do, that our memory is capable of. And so finding a place that you're familiar with, such as this hall that you've been to maybe 3 times, twice maybe, depends on what talks you've seen, I suppose, is really useful in actually placing those things there. And this can be good for learning sequences of things, such as numbers, or the days of the week, or months of the year in a new language. And so we're going to do that today. And so let's put yokato on the stage.
Okay, so you all remember that? You all remember that? Yes, good. Okay.
And what does yokato mean? Is it okay? Yeah, it doesn't mean your gato.
Okay.
You can't touch this.
The sound of to with a rising intonation, like going to, makes it a question in Hakata Ben. If you're learning Japanese already, the sound ka does that as well. So, ii desu ka makes a question, but it's closer to no in this case because the difference between ka and no is the ka is more formal and no is more colloquial and casual. And remember that Hakata Ben is only for casual settings. So in this case, it's closer to no. And we've seen it in yokato. And there's other questions like どうしたと? 何しようと? And お腹すいたと? And it's a very reoccurring sound in Hakata Ben.
So if you're in Fukuoka and somebody starts talking to you and they ended in to and you have no idea what they just said, just smile and nod, because they're probably asking you a question, and that's the best way to deal with any question. Okay. So, second phrase.
Yokabai. So she said yokabai, which is something that you can do instead of just nodding. It means it's okay when asked yokato, yokabai. Yoka is a Hakata ben for yoi, which means good. And bai is like an emphasis, like I'm telling you, like I think it's good, it's okay. It's okay. Yokabai.
So let's come up with a mem for yokabai. So imagine a friend of yours comes over to your place and he says, I'm really tired now, I need to leave. You can say, it's okay, you can go. In your car, bye. Yokabai. It's okay, yokabai.
Pronunciation time. Kana-san.
Yokabai.
Again.
Yokabai.
It is okay. Is it okay? Is it okay is
Yokato.
Great, okay. So we've got...
So what have we got up on the stage there? Yokato, which means? Good. So now let's put yokabai, it's okay, down in the aisle, down there. Okay?
So just as important as learning grammar and vocabulary is also learning about the local culture. And this is something that we really believe in Memrise. It's something that we're trying to break into our product more and more. We call them cultural nuggets. That's the bad reference to chicken nuggets. So we thought we'd drop a few about the local dialect and local culture.
Yeah, so one interesting fact about Hakata Ben is that it's often considered the most kawaii dialect in Japan. It's not said by us, it's actually voted by Japanese people every year. The winner often switches between Kyoto Ben and Hakata Ben. But you need to know that some of the locals may not like this stereotype because the local government uses cute girl to promote the dialect. And however, this Hakata Ben can also be used by Yakuza.
So just watch out if you hear Hakata Ben. Might be a cute girl or Yakuza. Or maybe...
Everyone. Hakata Ben is for everyone, not just a cute girl and Yakuza.
Okay, on to the third phrase.
めっちゃいいやん。めっちゃいいやん means it's I love it か。I love it. So めっちゃ means very, and い is like い in standard Japanese, good, and yan is like again emphasizing I'm telling you like it's really good. I love it. めっちゃいいやん。
So let's come up with a mem for mechaiya. There's an actor called Sir Ian McKellen in the UK. I don't know. Anybody heard of Sir Ian McKellen? He played Gandalf in Lord of the Rings, if you don't know. Yeah? So he's great. And a little known fact about Sir Ian McKellen is that he bloody loves matcha tea. So much so that he always, when he's drinking it, he says, mechaiya. And he always is telling everybody how much he loves matcha tea.
Okay, let's say it.
めっちゃいいやん。
I love it. Is it okay? Ah, いいね. Well done.
Great job, great job. Okay, so we're going to play another game now. It's everybody's favorite game, which is Mecha Ian or Air. So Air.
Air is the sound of strong objections. It's like what the.
It basically means it's shit. Okay, so we're going to show you a bunch of photos now, and because we're in Japan, we decided to focus on Japanese inventions because there are some amazing Japanese inventions. What we want you to tell us is whether they're mechaiyan or they're eh. Okay, so first up we have Japanese toilets.
Mechaiya.
Definitely mechaiyan. Definitely mechaiyan. A hat that's like got toilet paper on it for when you have a cold. Yeah, I think that's definitely a bit air. Karaoke?
Mechaiyan.
Yeah, definitely Meta-Ian. Nintendo. Meta-Ian, definitely. Eyedropper funnels? I mean, yeah, I'd find them quite useful. But, yeah. What about umbrellas for your shoes?
Mecha.
Definitely Meta-Ian. I mean, my shoes are pretty good. Okay, so good job. So, Ian loves the shoe umbrellas too. So we've moved down to the Memrise stall downstairs. If you haven't been there yet, you can come down and see us in the atrium.
Yeah, so we're going to put our next memory in the Memory Palace. So there's Matcha Ian telling me how much he loves matcha.
Great, so you can remember that, next to Rob. And
so what have we got on the stage? We had yokato. Is it okay if I have some of yokato? And it's okay for you to go in yokabai.
great job. And then
And then there's Matcha Ian telling me Matcha Ian.
great, let's move on to the number 4.
Maji? Okay, maji means seriously. So it comes from Japanese majime, serious. In Tokyo, or standard dialect, you go maji, and in Hakata Ben, you go maji.
Great.
Okay, so let's come up with a mem for maji. So maji sounds a bit like magic. So we can imagine a really terrible magician that's so bad that just makes you go, seriously? You call that magic?
Okay, let's practice.
Maji?
Seriously? I love it.
Good job, good job. Okay,
Okay, so the next part of the Memory Palace. This is the registration desk. So there we have our terrible magician trying to annoy everybody while they're getting registered. And they keep saying to him, seriously? Maji? Cool.
great. Number 5.
Sugoka. Sugoka means it's a Hakata Ben way of saying incredible or awesome or
Yes!
it can mean many things. It's a Hakata Ben way of saying sugoi. Sugoka.
Okay, so let's come up with a mem for Sugoka. There's a really awesome comedian in the UK called Sue Perkins. And the only thing that could make Sue Perkins any more awesome is if she turned up in a go-kart. Sue go-kart.
Bit of a stretch.
Okay, let's say it. Kana-san.
Sugoka.
It's awesome. Seriously? Bachili. Perfect.
You guys are doing really well. Okay, so we've got
Okay, so there's seriously annoying everybody still, saying Maji. And Sue Perkins, she's an awesome entertainer, so she's come to try and sort him out and teach him a few things in her go-kart, because she's so awesome. So she's saying, yeah.
great.
Can't touch this.
Okay, in Hakata Ben, if you add ka at end of adjectives, adjectives, you make it into an exclamation. So we saw with sugoka, to say it's sugoi, you say sugoka. So you replace the with ka to say sugoka. And this is the same with any other adjective, adjectives. So if you see a very cute ka, kawaii ka, you could say kawaii ka. If you see something like dangerously good, yabai ka, you can maybe say yabaka. And if you see a car that looks really yummy, oishii, you could maybe say oishika.
I'm definitely the yabaka. That's me. Okay, so on to the next phrase.
Onaka suita to? Okay, onaka suita to means are you hungry? So, onaka in Japanese means tummy. O is a polite marker, so it's saying your respectful tummy. Suita is empty, and to is making a question. So are your respectful tummies empty? Are you hungry? Onaka suita to?
So let's come up with a mem for this one. I'm going to preface this with, you're not always going to find the perfect mnemonic that sounds exactly like the thing you're learning. But, okay, so let's think. Onaka sounds a bit like on a car. Suita to sounds a bit like sweet potato. So you can imagine you're on a road trip with a friend, you've been going for a long time, you start getting hungry, you want to see if your friend is happy to stop. You want to say, are you hungry? And you remember you've got some sweet potato on the roof of the car, as you normally do. So you want to say, onaka suita to?
I think that's perfect.
Pretty
I
good.
don't know.
Okay, Kana-san.
はい。お腹すいたと
Are you hungry? If you want to answer this, it's very easy. Just change the rising tone to falling tone. So, are you hungry would be, and I am hungry.
So yeah. So it's basically you can answer it. So Onaka suita to? Are you hungry? Onaka suita to? Well, that wasn't really that good. Onaka suita to? Are you hungry? Onaka suita to? I am hungry. It's great because it means that you can have a full conversation using one phrase. So we're going to test this now by playing my favorite game, which is called the Onaka suita to relay. So we're going to do this in lines, which is going to make it, maybe we'll just exclude the last, unless you want to come down more and join one of the more busy rows. No, you can stay up there if you want.
This is a bit that you want to sit closer to each other if you want to win the game.
Unless they just really like running between seats. I think that could also be fun. What we're going to do is we're going to start over this side. So if you're on the end of your row, you're the beginning person. You're going to turn to the person next to you and say, Onaka suita to? And they're going to respond with, Onaka suita to? And then they're going to turn to their neighbor and say, Onaka suita to? And you're going to keep this going all the way to the end of the line. And the last person, when they answer, Onaka suita to, they need to stand up and do a little dance. Or just stand up. It's fine. First person who gets to the end gets a prize. Okay, so, should we do an example? Yeah, okay, so. Onaka suita to?
お腹すいたとお腹すいたと
Onaka soita to.
Okay, you ready? We can do this. We can do this. We can make this fun. Okay, so on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go! Oh, we have a wow! Oh, wait. You only had 2 people. Come on.
But you're 2 people in a row.
Come on. And actually, I mean, this one only had 4, but still, I'm pretty impressed. So you know what? Anybody who stood up, you win a prize. Do you know what the prize is? My everlasting admiration. Thank you very much. It's very rare. It's very rare. Or if you want to come down to the stall afterwards, we have T-shirts and things, which we're giving out to anyone. Or there's a very special pub quiz that we're doing tonight, which has very limited spaces. So I'll just squeeze you onto the pub quiz. How about that? Okay. Or I'll just give you a high five. I don't know. I'll give you lots of prizes. Okay.
Okay. So back to our memory palace. Who have we got in the registration area? Maji, seriously? And Sugoka, Sue in her go-kart. And we're also going to put Onaka suita to, Onaka sweet potato.
Onaka sweet potato sounds great.
And in this hall, who have we got in the aisle up there? You can go now. It's okay. In your yokabai.
Yokabai, very good.
And on the stage over there, yokato. Is it okay?
Great. And then talking to Rob?
And talking to me, still telling me how much he loves matcha. It's matcha Ian.
Great. Okay, on to the next phrase.
なんか食べん
Nanka taben means shall we grab a bite to eat? Okay, yes, so nanka is a Hakata ben for nanika, which means something. Tabe is eat, and is making a question here. So you're saying something eat something, nanka taben?
Okay, so let's come up with a mem. But before we do, I'd like to introduce everybody to somebody. Ben, would you please stand up? So Ben is one of the co-founders of Memrise. He's also our COO. But he recently got a cheeky promotion because he cares very much for the well-being of Memrise employees, especially at lunchtime, and has started wandering around the office asking people if we're hungry, shall we grab a bite to eat, as he cuts up naan bread to give to everybody. And so his new job title is actually Naan Cutter Ben.
Thank you so much, Ben. It is so appreciated. So appreciated. I mean, since Nanka Ben came into my life, everything has changed.
Okay, Nanka taben.
Nanka taben?
Shall we grab a bite to eat? Are you hungry?
Oh, good job, good job. Okay.
Okay, so now we're going to go to the cafeteria and we're going to put Nanka taben in the cafeteria. So he's asking everybody, should we grab a bite to eat? Nanka taben?
Great. On to the next phrase.
ラーメンどげん
Very important phrase in Fukuoka or Hakata. This means, how about ramen? Dogen is a Hakata ben for do in standard Japanese, asking how. So, how about ramen? So ramen dogen.
Forgot to put the English translation up.
Okay, easy. Ramen with a dog in.
I think that makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Okay, let's say it.
Ramen dogen.
How about ramen? Shall we grab a bite to eat? Perfect. Bachiri.
Okay, so let's put ramen with a dog in on the table. There we go. Ramen dogen. How about ramen? And we've also got Nanka taben offering up the naans.
Perfect. Perfect. And then on to our final phrase of today.
バリうまか
Another very useful phrase in Fukuoka. You can tell the chef, it's so delicious. Bari coincidentally means berry in Hakata, and umaka is Hakata ben of umai, which means delicious in standard Japanese. So it's saying it's very delicious. Bari umaka.
Now, I am very protective when it comes to food. I don't share my food, especially when it's so delicious. And if anybody tries to steal food from me, I always say to them, I'll bury you in my car. Bari umaka.
Okay,
It's so delicious.
let's practice.
Bari umaka.
So delicious. Are you hungry? Let's do it again. Are you hungry?
お腹すいたと?
Sugoi, sugoi.
Okay, so now we're going to play another game, my favorite, Bari Umaka, or weirdly, it's very similar to Mecha Ian or Air. We're going to show you some pictures, and since we're in Fukuoka, it's ramen and udon, the local delicacies. So you're going to tell us whether it's Bari Umaka, very delicious, or Air. Okay, so start off. Bari umaka. I think definitely Bari umaka. It looks pretty good, especially compared to. Yeah. I don't know. There's somebody down the front here who thinks that looks good. So, Bari umaka. I think definitely. Oh, it's making me very hungry. Soupless ramen. I'm not so sure about that, to be honest. But a ramen burger. Bari umaka, definitely Bari umaka. I think that sounds great.
Okay, so let's put Bari umaka. I'll bury you in my car. It's so delicious in the cafeteria, along with ramen with a dog in, ramen dogen, and Nanka taben.
Okay. So Hakata Niwaka is a stand-up comedy performed exclusively in Hakata Ben. It dates back 300 years ago in Edo period, when during the Japanese summer festival open, some people would just wear paper lantern with eye holes cut out and stops passers-by and tell them a random joke. It became official, it made official by the government. Ever since, it's performed during important festival and events. As you can see, the comedian will wear a special costume, wig, and a mask. The mask is called niwaka. Niwaka means suddenly in Japanese. Imagine you just you're just walking and somebody showed up and suddenly tell you a joke.
Sounds terrifying. So we're going to show you a short clip of what Hakata Niwaka might look like. So, oh, it's very loud.
花の中でさ、一番勉強しようとはアジサイじゃろうや。なしな。そらアジサイな。学のある。
Did you not get it? Oh, wait, it's in Hakata Ben. I forgot. Okay, so how about we thought that we might do a little Hakata Niwaka of our own in English. Is that okay with everyone? Yeah? No? Should we skip it? Okay, we're going to do one for you now. You better laugh.
Oh, I've found a hair in my naan. Oh, that's disgusting. How come? I think it was cut not by Nanka taben, but Hakata ben.
I think we should not quit our day jobs. Okay, so in the hall, covering off what we've done already.
I'm so sorry for that joke. So, what do we have on the stage over there? We've got, is it okay? Yokato. And in the aisle, we've got, it's okay. Yokabai. And now, still telling me how much he loves matcha, it's... And in the reception area, we've got, seriously? And we've got, awesome. And we've got, are you hungry? Onaka suita to? And in the cafeteria, we've got, so delicious. Bari umaka. And we've got, how about ramen? And we've got, should we grab a bite to eat? Nanka taben.
It's a problem with having such flashy keynote transitions. So we were going to test with Kahoot. I don't know if we have time actually, but I think to be honest, with the way that you guys just showed us how well you learnt all that, it was pretty fantastic. So I think you guys did an amazing job. So thank you very much. Give yourselves a round of applause. Brilliant. Okay, so let's cover. What did we just do, Rob? What did we just do in that 45 minutes?
I forgot with all these memory techniques. Okay, so we went through the concept of mnemonics and how they can be helpful in forming new memories. We also went through the memory palace. We put those memories in the memory palace, and this allows us to be able to recall those by going into our spatial recall brain. And we also used what we call spaced repetition. So we went back to everything that we'd learned multiple times and we reviewed it. So we did different things and we came back to everything systematically again and again in order to really get that memory stuck in your brain. And we used natural language. These are phrases that people use in Hakata Ben. We didn't create phrases just for the sake of learning structures and things like that. We used real natural language, and we tried to make it fun. I apologize if you've had a terrible time, but we did try, mainly because we think that if you're bored, then you're not actually learning.
I mean, I only noticed one person walk out, and that was an ex-colleague, so that's fine.
True.
I'm going to go and shout at him later, so that's okay. So thank you very much. So obviously we've been trying to teach you some Hakata Ben. We've not been trying to labor what Memrise is. Who here has used Memrise in the past? Oh, actually, so quite a lot of you. So I'll make this section very quick. What is Memrise, for those who didn't put your hands up? So we're a language learning app. We're on iOS, web, and Android. We actually started as a flashcard app about 10 years ago, but we're now a fully featured sort of learning app, especially with our official courses, which we brought in around about 5 years ago, yeah. So we have about 250 official courses for a whole bunch of different language pairs, and then when you're done with the official courses, we also have a whole bunch of community courses. So there's around about 1 million on last count, which is a lot, community courses. So this is everything from languages. So there's a lot of language stuff on there. So you can learn some anime Japanese once you've done your Japanese 1 to 7 on Memrise. And then there's non-language stuff too. So whilst you're doing your anime Japanese, you can also brush up on your first 150 Pokemon, which is quite good. But in terms of what we do in the official courses, because that's where we tend to put a lot of our sort of extra special sauce, So the learning techniques that we're perfecting, a lot of the tech that we're doing as well. So in the official
もちろん
in the official courses, we have videos of real locals. So we actually go and film real locals doing the phrases, so you can hear how it sounds when people are actually saying it, which is quite good. As we said, we have memes, especially if you're on Android and web. So that's my personal favorite one. Anyway.
Because you made it.
You can follow me on Memrise here. And also, as Rob said, natural language is really important to us. We want to create courses with phrases and words that you will actually hear if you're talking to a local person. So you're not caught out by textbook dialogue. And then some of the stuff that we're working on at the moment, a little bit of a sneak peek. So we launched Grammar about a year ago. And so we're continuously improving this. And we're looking at a way to make this so it's the right combination of fun and informative. And then also we recognize that conversation is really important, talking is really important. So we have a pronunciation mode, but we're currently working on ways that we can improve that and sort of make it a bit more social. We have an entire team dedicated to making Memrise more immersive. So if you're on iOS today, you can actually see a new feature that we've just launched if you're learning French, which is called Français Today. And this is where one of our colleagues, Stephanie, shoots videos every day, pretty much. I think they're daily, aren't they? Yeah, they're daily at the moment. Where she basically talks through the sort of cultural context of words and sort of interesting facts about French and France. And then also we have another team who's dedicated to the learning algorithms. So they're actually trying to make our tech and using AI and machine learning to basically make it. The plan is to make this so it's the fastest way to learn a language. That's what we're aiming for. And the idea behind that is that we're personalizing it as much as possible to you and the way that you learn. And also in the Hakata Ben course, there's a lot more phrases than those 9.
Got 50
Yeah,
items.
there's 50 items. So brilliant. So thank you very much. To play you out, we're going to introduce you to we wanted to cover it in the talk, but we didn't have time. An amazing Hakata Ben tongue twister. If you go and have a search for a band called Okayu, and the song is titled
おっとっとっとっとってって言っとったとになんでとっとってくるんかったとって言っとと
Got it? Great. Okay, so everybody, thank you very much. We've been Memrise. Come down and have a chat to us.